Hello my fellow gamers, today I would like to share with you this blaze spawner farm that I built with the use of create mod. It uses base create components, so you will not need any kind of additional mods to build this farm and use it. Alright, so let's look at how this farm works. Over here on each of the sides we have deployers with the swords that attack the blazes. So it's like symmetrical on both the sides. We have this deployers with the swords, and the loots are being collected in the chests down there. If the sword is being broken by deployer, because they do utilize durability, you can put more swords up here so that deployers can utilize those swords. And we have little AFK room down here, nice and cozy. And the blaze spawner room is just a square with fans at each of the four corners with nozzles so that the air is traveling radially from the fans, and that air pushes the blazes towards the opening in the corners of the floor. They get pushed down there pretty quickly, fall on the belts at the bottom here, and get moved towards the deployers. Up here we have a power based on the windmill bearing, because this farm is nether based, so we will not be able to use water, and powering it with lava flow it's kind of annoying, and I feel like it's much easier to utilize windmill. This little blaze head over here is 5 by 5 by 3 cube of wool, and with this much wool we get 4000 SU approximately, and we're able to power that farm at maximum rotational speed of 256. Now let's look at the dimensions of this farm. The farm footprint is 11 blocks wide and 17 blocks long, and vertically it is 14 blocks tall. The blaze spawner will be situated exactly in the center of the footprint, so exactly that center horizontally, and vertically it will have 6 blocks above it and 7 blocks below it. Now let's look at the materials that I needed to build this farm. In here we have the building blocks that we will use to create this farm. I used black stone, but you could use any kind of stone that is fireproof and gasproof. For it to be gasproof, it needs to be blast resistance of 5 and higher. So regular stone and deep slate are also great options for this farm. So I have polished black stone, 4 stacks and 55, and then I have half a stack of backup blocks just in case I place something wrong and it falls into lava and burns down. Then I have 50 polished blackstone bricks. Those will be used to make a conveyor delivery system that transfers blaze to the killing chambers. And then we have 4 stacks and 29 of polished blackstone slabs. Those will be the roof and the floor of the farm. And then I have backup of half a stack of slabs just in case, again, something falls down into lava and burns. Then we have temporary blocks, dirt, stack and a half, 64 torches, and 32 scaffolding. Any scaffolding will do, but it is easier to work with create scaffolding, so I used andesite scaffolding in this case. And here we have all the create components that we will need: 4 fans accompanied by 4 nozzles, 4 gearboxes, 3 of them will be vertical gearboxes, 31 shafts, 5 belts, 1 rotational speed controller, and 1 large cogwheel to go along with it, 1 windmill bearing, and 75 blocks of wool. To make the blaze head as our sail, we will use 17 red wool, 23 orange wool, 31 yellow wool, 2 black wool, and 2 white wool. We will also need 2 deployers, 6 cogwheels, 4 chutes, and 8 chests for our killing chambers. And then of course we will need wrench and super glue. And finally, for decorative purposes, you can use either brass or andesite casing to encase all the shafts, cogwheels, and other components. And finally, here we have the materials that we will need to build the decorative piece and the AFK room. So we will use 1 chest just for decorative purposes, 1 ender chest to store our stuff inside, a door, any door would do, any trap door, decorative lantern, a seat on which we will AFK, a stack and 27 of nether bricks, 22 nether brick slabs, 2 nether brick stairs, 11 red nether bricks, 2 red nether brick stairs, and 5 red nether brick slabs. Red nether bricks block, if you don't have access to them, can be replaced with any block that has good contrast with black and dark burgundy of the nether bricks, and it will be used to make a letter B that indicates that it's a blaze farm. So let's go over the mechanics of this farm. So this is a base game mechanic of how spawner works. Spawners generate mobs in the volume of 9 by 9 by 3 centered on the spawner. That means 4 blocks in cardinal directions from the spawner is the distance at which the mobs will be spawning, and then 1 block above and 1 block below is the vertical distance. And if you outline this as a box around it, as a box around the spawner, 9 by 9 by 3, that will be where the mobs can spawn. So all those blocks need to be air so that they will be eligible for the mob spawns. You yourself, to activate the spawner, need to be within 16 blocks radially from the spawner. So basically somewhere within the 16 blocks the spawner will activate and start spawning mobs. If you're further away, then it will not work. Our binding box of the spawner is bigger than 9 by 9 by 3 because blazes are 2 blocks tall. So if we have floor and just 1 block gap between the spawner and the floor and the ceiling, the blazes could get stuck and not be transported towards the killing chambers, and we don't want that. That's why our binding box is slightly bigger. It's 9 by 9 by 5 instead. Now blazes spawn at the light level of 11 or below, but while you build it you can utilize it to your advantage, because if you light up that 9 by 9 by 3 box with light level of 12 and above, and what it means is basically building a platform under the spawner and torch spamming it, then blazes won't spawn and won't bother you as you're building. So let's go through the steps of how we would approach building this farm. Immediately as you find the spawner, you will take your torches. Okay, you will take the torches. Here's our stack of torches. And you will put torches around the spawner. So in base game, this does not disable the spawner, but it provides a light level enough to limit the number of spawns that will be happening as you work. And the next step will be to use your dirt blocks, and place them immediately under the spawner and basically fill out this 9 by 9 square over here. 9 by 9. Quickly, while battling any kind of blaze, it is helpful for you to have some sort of fire resistance potions or artifact of any kind while you add it, because then you will not be taking this much damage from the blaze and it will be easier for you to finish. So as you build this, just build maybe quarter of this and torch spam it. So every other block is the torch. As soon as you place those torches, it limits how many blazes you will have to deal with as you work on this platform. Now that you finish your torch spam and blazes don't bother you, you will have to build your platform at the base of the farm so that you can work safely. So we will take our slabs, polished blackstone slabs, and we need to travel 7 blocks downwards. So if our feet at -53, we need to end up at -60. If my feet would be in another realistic coordinates, would be, for example, 48 -7, it would be 41. So to travel down, you can use whipping vines or some other method. If you have jetpack, you could use jetpack. Just travel down safely, or maybe you have some sort of netherrack in here, platform of netherrack that you can go down. Basically, find a safe way to travel 7 blocks downwards and start building base of your farm. So first we will fill all the area underneath our spawner, 9 by 9 square, so we can just look up and see where it is. So now that is done, we have our base and we need to extend it left and right of the farm by 1 block and then forward. So if this is the entrance, we will extend it by 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. If you have proper floor in here, you don't need to do that. You can just clear out the space, obviously. And then towards the back of the farm, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 again. So both the ways, forward and backwards, is 4 blocks. Alright, so now we have our base of the farm and we can work safely without being scared to fall off the edge. We will find the middle of this and break this block. Be careful, don't break the spawner. And then we will start working on our spawner room. So we will use polished black stone here. You could use any other block. I just picked black stone because I had a lot of it, but any block that is blast proof of 5 or higher, so stone works, stone bricks works. If you are in a place where gas can spawn, don't use anything that is soft. For example, glazed terracotta is a bad idea because gas can destroy it, so you will have to be constantly repairing your farm. So we will look at our spawner and we will count 1, 2 blocks downward, and on the third block, that's where we'll be building. So it's better to use temporary blocks, so we'll do 1, 2, third block, that's the floor of our spawner room. This block can be top slab as well if you wanted to. From this over here, we will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to each of the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be careful, don't run off the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't run off the edge of this platform. And then it can be filled fully to a box. So the box will be 11 by 11. Once this is finished, we will place some scaffolding to be able to access the roof of the platform. So at the front, we can place it right here. So in the center, 1 block away from the edge, we will place full block, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 scaffoldings will be enough to reach the roof. At the back, we will place scaffolding slightly over to the side, so 2 blocks away from the side here. We'll place full block and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 scaffolding to the side. We will travel upwards, and at the level of our floor over here, we'll crouch and place 1 scaffolding here. Actually, we'll place 2 scaffoldings because we need to be able to reach. So this will allow us to access the inside of the spawner room once the room is finished. We will start placing block upwards now to finish our walls. Walls will be 5 tall and 6th block will be the roof. So we will do it 3 at a time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we will fill all of the area like so. This I feel is the fastest way to build it in survival. Now that the first level is finished, we'll place 2 more blocks, and then slab will be the very top of it. So you can either do it all at once, all 3 blocks at once, or you could just do 2 and then finish off with slabs afterwards. For me, it's faster to do 2 and then all the slabs at the same time, but either way is fine. And then cap it off with the slabs. Now just confirm the dimensions. It has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 long walls. So each of the walls needs to be 11 blocks long, so that your spawner area is 9 by 9. And then we can cap it off. So I like to place 3 blocks at a time like so, and just go over once, then go over one more time in the center, and then finish it off at the other edge, and that entire spawner room will have a roof. We're using bottom slabs here because that way this area won't be spawnable, so you won't have any kind of surprise visits from wither skeletons while you're AFKing or troubleshooting this farm. Right, so now we have our spawner room ready. At this point we can start working on our create components. So we'll take our fan, encase fan, nozzles, all the 4 nozzles, all the 4 fans, shafts, cogwheel, the large cogwheel, rotational speed controller, belts. We will need our belts, and then we will need our gearboxes. So we will need vertical, 2 vertical and 1 horizontal gearbox for now. So let's place our fans at each of the corners, 1 block away from the corners. Diagonally we will place fans in all 4 corners, and we will just place them however they are. Doesn't matter, doesn't have to be perfect, because we can then use our wrench and rotate them. So rotate the fan such that the shaft is above and fan is facing towards the bottom. So if you see the shaft above, that is correct positioning. Shaft is above, that's not above, now it is above. At the top of each of those fans, place shafts, underside shafts, and then connect them from front to back. So if this is our entrance and over there is going to be our windmill, we will connect them from front to back, from front to back. Okay, and after that we will place a vertical gearbox at the top of both of the back fans. So I can jump here and place it. If I'm looking at the shaft, it will be placed correctly. If it's not placed correctly, use wrench. So now at one of the sides I will place regular gearbox to reverse rotation, so all the fans are blowing in the same direction. If I don't place this side will be blowing opposite direction than this side. Then I will place 3 shafts on the side where there is no gearbox, and 2 shafts at the side where there is a gearbox, and place large cogwheel here. Under the cogwheel I will place rotation speed controller. So let's do the check. We have 4 fans in each of the corners facing into the room, so make sure they are not at the edge but one away, so that they are blowing inside of the room. Then we have connected them with the belts, and then we have shafts and vertical gearboxes redirecting the rotational power towards this cogwheel. Cogwheel is attached to the rotational speed controller, and at which point we will take our windmill bearing and all of our wool to construct the windmill. So we will have red wool, orange wool, yellow wool, white wool, and black wool. So if you don't want to be bothered, just place 75 blocks of wool in a cube or any kind of shape you want, glue it together, and you will be good to go. But if you want to have a nice cute blaze head, then you use those colors. So I will look at the rotational speed controller and place the windmill bearing right here, and it should attach correctly. If it didn't, use your wrench to redirect it. And then after that I will start placing my wool. So in here the wool will go 2 above, 2 below, and 2 to each of the side, because it's 5 by 5 centered on the windmill bearing. And make sure the bearing is at the edge, so your windmill itself is over the edge and doesn't touch any of the corners. So we'll place red wool 1 block below the roof, so this is slab is the roof, and 1 block below we will place our first wool, and we will extend 2 to each of the sides right underneath the windmill bearing, and then 2 outwards. So it's gonna be this platform of 3 by 5 of red wool. And then just like over there, we will place 2 of the blazes sides cheeks, I guess, so I don't know how to call them. This will be red wool. The next layer here will be orange wool. Orange wool everywhere here, orange wool here, and orange wool at the front over here. On the next layer we will have its eyes. Let's remove this so it's not in the way. So we'll place white wool, black wool, white wool at the edge, black wool towards the center, and orange wool in between. And then behind the eyes there will be full line of orange wool, and further back we will have yellow wool. So right here, line of yellow wool, above the eyes, 2 orange blocks above each of the eyes and yellow in between, and all of the rest we will fill up with yellow wool. And final layer, the 5th layer towards the top, is going to be full yellow. So in here, what do we have? Yes, we have a little blaze face, and this looks identical to the other side. Looks correct to me. So now let's take it so that it's not in the way. Now we will take our glue and we will attach it to the corner that is away from the scaffolding. So inner corner away from the scaffolding. Then we will jump down the scaffolding, travel down a little bit, and then attach it to the bottom outer corner to glue the whole shape together. And now we have our windmill ready. So we will right click and see if it goes in the right direction. So it's spinning. We will speed up our rotational speed controller to 256 and look at the particles. So I don't see any particles blowing outwards right now because I don't have my my nozzles inside. So I'll get my nozzles. Let's stop this for now and go place the nozzles inside of the blaze room. So go down to that. Remember, we made this platform so we can access inside, break these blocks. You see, immediately as the torch goes away, the blaze spawns. So actually, we will have to go up here, place nozzles all the way at the edge. So we'll have to use temporary blocks, I guess. And now, once the nozzles are in, we will have to, while killing those blazes, very quickly remove all the temporary blocks from here. So we will break the blocks, right? And as you break the blocks, kill the blazes, make sure you have potion on you, the fire potion, while you're doing that, because it will be quite annoying. The longer you spend here, the more annoying it gets. Okay, so we'll remove all of that and remove the temporary block over here. Walk out, remove the torches around the spawner. The less torches, the more of them will be spawning immediately. And close off. So now that nozzles are in, we can activate the farm. Let's activate and see. So I see particles going towards the, you can see particles going towards the fans. But if you don't have particles enabled, you can just poke a little hole and see where the blazes are being blown. So if you don't see blazes in those corners down there, in bottom corners, that means the fans are not blowing in correct direction. And you can see the blazes particles, so blazes are in the center over here somewhere. We will reverse rotation and see what happens now. You can see particles going outwards, and then if you break this and check what's going downstairs, the blazes are pinned towards each of the corners. So this is upper part of the farm is done, and we can place our, if you want to encase it, we can use brass casings just to make it pretty. It's not necessary, but while you're up here, might as well prettify it before continuing on working on the bottom part, the killing chamber. So we will just place a bunch of brass casings here, and crouch. So because this bottom slab, you can crouch underneath the shaft, which is kind of convenient. So from here onwards, we will need to transfer our rotational power downwards. So we'll take a belt and our shafts, and we will extend this belt by 1, and then we will replace shaft by looking into this opening over here and right clicking. So this, no, we didn't go in. So we'll need to look into this opening over here, right, and place it at the very top of the belt. Wait, I fell, don't do that. Stay crouching so you don't do that accidentally. So now we will break this block and place another shaft here to transfer the power, and then we can do our brass casing as we work on it. You can just add the casings later on. And then we will break this block, the roof, and then 1, 2, 3 blocks downward, and place another shaft against this bottom slab, and then we will use belt to connect the two shafts, and let's encase them right away. I cannot encase that far away. Yep. Now we will place shafts, two shafts. Might encase them right away if you wanted to. Wait, two shafts. If you wanted to, you can put casings on them. Then we'll place two more blocks, and we will be all the way at the bottom. If you jump, now you should be able to reach, and you will extend shaft all the way towards the bottom of this box, and one beyond the bottom of this box. And then we can encase this and encase this. Okay. So here now we will have to make our conveyor. So we'll have our bricks, polished blackstone bricks, and we will outline the conveyors. So one block, this is one block from each of the sides, or diagonally from the corner, and this is where the blazes will be coming down from. This is where the opening will be. So around this opening we will place 2 blocks downwards to make a little shaft for the blazes to fall down through, and then we will place a temporary block right here, so it's gonna be right underneath the corner where the shaft is coming from, and we will place a shaft in here going from left to right of the farm. And then this block doesn't need to be here anymore, we don't need it. We will repeat the same on the other side. We will outline, so this is the opening where blaze is coming down from, this is the chute through which they will come through, and then one block under the corner, temporary block right here, shaft, and we'll connect those shafts with the belts. Connect them with the belts and remove the temporary block, we don't need it anymore. Same on the other side, we'll repeat exactly same. Make a chute, place temporary block, place a shaft. Same here, make a chute, place temporary block, place a shaft. If you place shaft too close or whatever, you can extend it later on. Remove the temporary blocks. And now we need to outline all of that conveyor. We need to outline so that our blazes don't escape. So we'll place walls here. You can fill this area as well, this gap, so blazes don't shoot their fireballs. I left them open because I needed to get some blaze burners, so you can just like right click through this opening the blaze. But if you keep this open, blaze will be shooting at you as you approach the fire. So we will outline this and finish the outline, and here is our delivery system. Conveyor is done. Now we need to power that conveyor, so we'll take our vertical gearbox and connect over here this shaft above and this shaft below. Place final shaft here, encase it, and see if the conveyor goes in the right direction. Looks right to me. If it's not correct direction, you will have to add another gearbox there, and we'll just encase it. Look nice. Now with the shafts, we'll connect this conveyor to the conveyor on the other side, and we will encase it with the belts. So, with the casings, and encase it here, make it looks nice. So let's do the check. So this is our spawner box. Underneath the spawner box, we have our conveyor. Conveyor spans from the front to the back, and it's inset inwards from left wall and right wall by 1. So it's inset by 1 because the opening through which blazes will be coming from will be over here, diagonally 1 block away from each of the corners, right? So this is our delivery system, and there's only one tall gap opening, and at the bottom we have the height of this conveyor is 2 blocks because that's how tall the blazes are, and we need to be able to transfer them without them being stuck. Okay, now over here we will place above, so at the front where your entrance to the farm will be, where your windmill is not, we'll place 1 block above the conveyor, so with 1 block gap. So the conveyor is here, 1 block gap, 1 temporary block, and you could use dirt block in here. And then we will take our deployers deployers, chutes, all the chutes and all the chests. Okay, and we'll place deployer right under this temporary block, deployer here. Then we'll remove temporary block and remove temporary block here. And then we will remove this block right above the conveyor, because that's through this block deployer will be able to attack the blazes. Remove this block here. Now we'll use our wrench, and we'll place our we'll place a temporary block in here, so ours is like dirt, let's say. So we'll place, well, actually place a slab, place temporary block in here, and then we will rotate the deployer so it faces inwards. Remove temporary block, replace this, do same here, rotate the deployer so it faces inwards. Remove the blocks, replace. So now that deployer is facing inwards, we are ready to power it. So we will take our cogwheels and we'll place them into the conveyor, one up and one into deployer. So it's like a P shape or reversed P shape, and deployer is now powered. Same on the other side, one up and one into deployer. The next step would be to add the chutes above and below the deployer, above and below the deployer, and add our chest. So remove those two blocks, chest here, remove the blocks, chest here, and chest above and chest above. This is where you put the swords. This is where the loots are being delivered. Now we can use our wrench and we can put swords into the chest. So you can use iron swords, diamond swords, whatever that you want. And note that the deployer will consume the durability of the sword, and deployer can use looting, sharpness, and unbreaking. So you could either give it enchanted sword and then repair it every once in a while. If you have create enchantment industry, then you could put mending on it, and deployer will receive experience and repair the sword with mending. If you don't have create enchantment industry, you will have to supply swords through the chest above, or take its swords away from it, repair and bring it back after your AFK session. So if you give it sword right away like so, it will just deposit it back into the chest. So what you need to do is use your wrench and rotate the deployer sideways like so, put sword into the filter and rotate it back, and now you can give it the sword and it will hold it. And then you have to switch it to attack mode so it holds it correctly in the fist instead of in the use mode. And we will do same on the other side. We will take our sword, we will rotate the deployer, put sword into the filter, rotate it back, and give it the sword. You can also switch it to attack mode. You can also use sweeping edge. It will kill the blazes faster if you have sweeping edge on it, but you have to be careful not stand next to it. Now we will use our brass casings to make the cogwheel look a bit more presentable. And the final step would be to break the blocks. So you need to break the block exactly inside of that chute that we created, right? That block over here in each of the corners of the farm needs to be broken. When you will break those blocks, they will drop down on the conveyor belt, so you will have to come down here and take them away from conveyor belt so they don't clog and don't sit there for no reason, right? So you could either sort of aim it from here or just walk around and get it from here. And that's it. That's pretty much functional farm. It's working already and delivering the loots into the chests here and here. And then you can pack more swords in here of the same time that deployer is able to use, and it will be delivered towards the deployer. So now we can do a little bit of a cleanup, go around here. We'll have to crouch. No, we cannot reach it from here. Actually, we can go through the top. So we'll go to the top and remove all of the scaffolding that we have, because we don't need it anymore, right? So we'll go through here, remove this scaffold. This is the only part. So this scaffolding can be removed by using the wrench and right click. It will go straight in your inventory if you do it like that. If you do it the regular way, it will break and fall down on the ground. And we can also ride our windmill. So we'll remove as much as we can from the top, and here as well. Just remove some of that scaffolding. And don't do that because you will die. And just remove as much as we can from the bottom here. Yep, so this is sufficient. And then we can remove it from over here. We can aim properly. Oi, can I? Yeah. Okay, so we can remove this, replace it, and go back here and finish this. Remove this, replace, and that's it. This is functional farm. Nothing spawns on this floor, so you can safely sit here. But if you don't want to just sit in the open like that, you can create a little AFK room around here. So AFK room, we will have our red nether bricks, stairs and slabs, and nether bricks, stairs and slabs from the final, red bricks, slabs and fences from the final list of materials. And then we will have our door, and we will have our trapdoors. Okay, so what we will do here is we will make little window through which we can access the chests, and then we will extend it upwards. And same here, little window here to access the chest and extend it upwards like so. And we will place our trapdoors here so you can close them if you need to, or open the chests. Then we will make our entryway over here and close it off and put our door in here. And now we have nice door. And then we will finish off. So we will make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long. So sixth block away from the door will be our walls. Then we can place full blocks in here because that will be our nice shelf. And then we will fill this area over here and over here, and put the fences into this window so we have nice little window to look out from, and fill our walls on each of the side. If you make this window open over here, you'll be able to get some blaze burners from this opening, or you can just close it off if you don't need blaze burners anymore. We can replace the floor with red nether brick slab so it matches the rest of the room. This is not necessary step, but you can do that. Then we will use our decorative lantern, the chest, and ender chest. Okay, so place chest here, ender chest here, little lantern, and then we will have seed, red seed right here in the middle, right here, so we can sit in AFK nicely on the seat. On the outer edge of this, we need to finish off this roof over here. We will have our letter B. So we'll cap roof off with red nether brick slabs, right here. And this will be red nether bricks all the way to the top. So it's 5 wide outline, red nether brick slab at the top here. So it's gonna be 5 wide all the way to the roof with the slabs at the top. And then we will have our letter B. It will be 5 tall and 3 wide. And we will fill our letter B like so. And to make it look like a B, we will use stairs at the top right corner and in the middle, so it gives us outline of letter B, and fill everything else with red nether brick slabs. And now we have our nice letter B, indicating that it's a blaze farm. So now we have our farms finished, and we can use it to AFK and do absolutely nothing while deployers do our job, kill the blazes, and deliver our loots to us. I will leave a schematic of this build in the video description. In this shulker box over here, I have all the loots that I got from AFK in this farm for 1 hour with looting 3 swords. So as we can see here, it collected 15.5 stacks of blaze rods, and that's total of 1005. So we're looking at about 1000 items per hour farm efficiency. I hope you will be able to build this farm in your own survival world with Create mod, And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.